Hi, everybody. It's me, Heather, again. It's been a little while since I posted, and I can't actually remember my last video, but my last chemo treatment was my halfway mark, and it was on June 3rd. And because I had such bad bone pain from the Neulasta the previous two, and my neutrophil counts had been above normal range both of those times following, they decided to do a half dose of Neulasta, this chemo treatment, so that I could see if I had a decrease in bone pain. Well, that worked amazing. I still had bone pain, but it was manageable. And then I have had some yeast issues underneath both breasts, which is gross, but it's, immunocompromised. That stuff happens. And it was very itchy. And I got a follow-up appointment with my oncology nurse practitioner to look at that and talk about some things. And that was this past Wednesday, the 12th of June. And I woke up just feeling awful that day. I had a headache. I was congested. I was really achy and tired. And I told the medical assistant that I felt just really flu-like today. And I don't know if it got blown off or just whatever, but it's besides the point. Nurse practitioner came in, we did our thing, and then I went home, and at about 2:45 in the morning, I woke up freezing, chills, shivering, and I didn't take my temp at that time, but should have. Lesson learned. And I grabbed a hoodie jacket, put it on, and then covered up in my really thick comforter and another really thick fuzzy fleece blanket, and went back to bed. And when I got up at like 5:45, I was burning up and took my temperature, and it was 103.6. Yeah, bad news. I thought it may have been just because I was so covered up in all the blankets, so decided to wait and recheck and see if it would come down. And over an hour's time, it only came down to 103.3. So I decided to go to the emergency room because that's what we're supposed to do. And I spent all day in the emergency room. I had neutropenic fever. My neutrophil count was 0.8, and I had triggered the sepsis protocol. So my heart rate was in the 130s. My temperature was 103 point whatever at that point, and my blood pressure was on the lower side. So it got me a hospital admission, and today is Sunday, June 16th, and I get to go home in a little bit. Yay! So I'm trying to hurry before they come in the door. It has been not fun. I've been on very strong IV antibiotics every few hours, and in the process, the fever dropped down, but then my right breast started swelling and was hot, and it hurt really, really bad. And ends up, I have cellulitis in my right boob, which is my cancer boob. And they ended up switching the antibiotics to something, because I was on a broad spectrum vancomycin and cefepime. And yesterday they switched it over to something that's more specific to a skin infection, because I was the one who finally reported. I was like, man, my boob hurts. And I felt an increased size in lymph node, and it really freaked me out. So they did an ultrasound, and it was just, they just saw swelling on the ultrasound, and then my whole boob turned red, and they decided it was cellulitis. So that's what caused the whole infection thing. But just so you know, when your white counts are low, you don't see your typical redness, swelling, pus, things like that, because your white cells aren't there to produce those things. So you get your fever. And that's what happened. I got my fever, and then after my white counts started coming up while I was here in the hospital, the white cell reaction happened, and that's when my boobs started swelling and getting red and hurting. So it was kind of a weird order. I couldn't figure out why these antibiotics weren't helping the pain, which they were. It was just kind of a delayed reaction. So anyway, they changed the antibiotic yesterday, watched me for one more day, so I get to go home today on oral antibiotics, and hopefully this is all cleared up by my next chemo treatment on the 24th, because if not, I'm going to be very unhappy. But guess what will not be happening again next treatment? I will not be getting the half dose of Neulasta, because that's why my neutrophil count plummeted, why I didn't get up so high. So we tried. It worked on keeping my bone pain down, but it made me sick as a dog, and I'm not going to do it again. So there's that. I thought it would be worth it to risk the infection, but I was wrong. It's not fun. And luckily, I've already hit my max out-of-pocket deductible, so this little Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday now, little stint in the hospital is not going to kill me financially, because it's already paid by insurance. But anyway, sounds like they're getting ready to come in, so I'm going to sign off. Please learn from my, not mistakes, but my experiences. Other than that, I have been doing really well. My tumor's responding amazingly to my chemotherapy, and I have at this point decided that if the surgeon agrees, my best option for surgery is going to be a double mastectomy with deep flap reconstruction. It's DIEP reconstruction. So you might look into that. I have decided that I don't want implants because I have an autoimmune disease, diabetes already. And with the immunotherapy that they're adding in on my clinical trial, puts me at a higher risk for another autoimmune issue. So I do not feel like it's in my best interest to put foreign objects like implants into my body. So I'm going to go the natural route and hopefully get good outcomes from that. So it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to any dads out there. And take care of yourselves. Bye.